For most of this veganuary, I've just compiled information, as there is a boatload out there, and I don't need to reinvent the wheel. But there are a few myths that I serve as a very good counterexample of, and although I'm not very skilled in social media presentation or overly keen on getting personal details out to strangers, there's strength in numbers. And another and possibly a little atypical person delivering the same message can help spread the word. So I will put some more effort into the presentation than I usually do. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Starting with the first thing that I often hear, that as a vegan you turn super skinny and you're malnourished and everything. You can obviously see that's not the case. Let me just combine that with the opposite, which is interesting, because there's also this idea in many people's heads that because of all the carbohydrates you'll be eating, you'll grow fat. And I'm not skinny, and I'm not fat. And the third thing is, you'll go weak, and I'm not weak either. So let's just look at a few pictures. This one is 2013. That is about 1.5 years before I transitioned. And that's 2016, so not a lot generally has changed, except a graffiter, as you can see. This one is 2018. This one as well. You can see I'm not weak. Also here you can see the shoulders a little bit. And yeah, people say I put the extra fat I have in the right places. Yes, enough of exhibitionism. Just to show that's the case. If I have some high definition pictures that can show it, why not use them? Another one that I see is that, especially up here now, I live in Norway. People kind of think that this is just something you do when you live in the tropics, not up here. Some genetics are just not made for this, and that's nonsense. I mean, here in Norway, people have this idea that we are Vikings and we have to eat meat and we have to eat fish. And in university, people used to joke about how stereotypically Viking I look, being rather tall and white and strong and all that kind of stuff. Curvy. People have an idea somehow that Viking women were like this. Maybe wishful thinking, who knows? So I actually joined the Trondheim Viking reenactment group, and it was perfectly easy to stay plant-based on their market, because that's what people would have had most of the time. Let's face it, you wouldn't have caught something every day, and you wouldn't have slaughtered the animals you kept every day. You'd run out of them pretty quickly. Yeah. The next thing that I hear a lot, also especially up here, there's quite some machismo about being, tough and strong and everything, is that people say, but I'm not one of those hippies. And that's really funny as well, because I'm not your typical hippie person. Let's just say that I'm not your typical hippie person. This is what many people would associate with yoga practice. This is actually what I like to work with. Just an indication. Another funny thing is, and that's understandable to some degree up here, many of the warming foods in winter here are traditionally meat-based. And so the idea is often that as a vegan you'll be cold all the time. Interestingly enough, that's another one I can bust. The reason being that I do the ice bathing. But when I came there, when I came to Sherwood first time last year, they were making jokes, and they're actually still commenting on the fact that I was the crazy person who stayed in the ice water for over 8 minutes. They were looking at the watch. I mean, I was just swimming, but they were like, oh, she's out there for 8 minutes. What's going on? Does someone have to help her? And it was fine. So that was obviously when I had already transitioned, as that was just 1 year ago, and it was perfectly fine. Actually, even if you don't believe me, that's me last winter. Was obviously vegan for quite a while, not cold at all, because the Wim Hof method works for you, whatever you're eating. And actually, when your arteries are healthy and they can dilate and contract because they're not all plaqued up, you'll do even better. Another thing is the health question. And it's been done to death. People with a much better overview than me have summed up all the science and the research. You can find it. I'm just one more case. But there is strength in numbers. So I will say what the change was for me, but it's been 100% positive. I recover faster, which is great because I work with my body. I'm a yoga teacher, and I cannot really afford to lie low a few days and not practice because my muscles are sore because I overdid it once. Obviously, if you watch something like The Game Changers, you'll hear this from much more fit people than me. But even I realize that since I'm on a uh, plant-based program, whatever you want to call it, I recover so much faster. It's incredible. I can go all out, really tire myself out, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, maybe there's a little bit of tingle in the muscles, I do my breathing exercise and I'm good to go. It's amazing. I recover so much faster. If something stops me, then it's usually that I overstretched or that I was too vigorous and was not so nice to a joint or something. But being sore is not an issue. It's just not an issue. Um, Immunity is really improved. So I've worked in kindergartens in Germany, and here I work also with people, obviously, and everyone is coughing around me. And something in my head goes, I have to be catching something at some point, but no, usually I don't. It's really rare for me to get sick now, and I used to get tonsillitis all the time. It's really bad. I have a strong tendency to inflammatory diseases, and it runs in the family. So I haven't had a tonsillitis since I transitioned, not a one. And before there was a time for a year or some maybe nine or 8 months or something, where I had one tonsillitis almost once a month. Like a year period where I had 9 or 10 tonsillitis or something. It was really intense. All the time I got on and off the antibiotics. Really annoying. Super painful. Not happened since. Not one time. Um I'm not one of the happy vegans whose skin just cleared up magically as soon as they transitioned, but it's improved a lot. And the last bit was actually done by the Wim Hof method. Um, I think that combination seems to have done it for me. When I was in India for my first teacher training, I was not that strict about keeping everything plant-based, and my skin exploded. It was quite good before, it had gone down considerably, but everything just sort of broke out. And let's see if I can find a picture. Yeah, that's obviously not as bad as it got. That's just the worst I took a picture of. Yeah, let's get that out of the way again. So that was not nice. But when I went back for my second teacher training, I had learned the Wim Hof method. So the combination of really being very strict about sticking to plants and the Wim Hof breathing was the only difference. It was the same school, it was the same place, it was even hotter. And yeah, this is from this last time, 2019, just before monsoon, really, really hot and humid. And this is just a snapshot, not a polished picture done by photographers, but just a snapshot showing you the difference. My joints have greatly improved. I had rheumatoid arthritis. They weren't quite sure if it was that or maybe a form of Bechterew or just arthritis or whatever. But different doctors diagnosed me with different things, but it was all around really bad joints. And that was when I was 21. And they told me it's going to be like this forever and just get worse, which I was not very keen on. So within a few weeks, it's an old story. So many people have reported this. I'm just one more. Within a few weeks, that just drained out of my joints, and they were fine. They tested me a year or two later, and they couldn't find anything. It's great. Yeah, that's what I can think of right now. I'm obviously rather young yet, so I haven't had any more awful things that I turned around. But so that's just a few of the most common myths, especially the ones that I've encountered and that I thought just me standing here as a counterexample. Yeah,